I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
You can do that? Well, of course you can do that.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld.
Yeah, way to go, genius.
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
I like how they reverse everything, because usually in history and stuff like that, and a lot of stories, it's you want to be the pure blood, it's the tainted blood that's evil. I like that.
Maybe she wanted to meet you, but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are.
You hope she
But I have
died?
no way to know for sure.
That's not nice.
Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too
Excuse
much
me.
pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
Alright. How do they deal with that?
You Asari lived for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Okay.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander. I get the
Oh,
feeling...
no, that's not what I
Goodbye,
wanted to
Commander.
do.
I get the feeling
Yes,
you want
I'd like to
ask
talk
me
about
something,
you.
Commander.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
All children rebel against their parents. It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha, you share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study.
Because that's better.
No, that's even worse.
Oh, awkward.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Consider it done.
Goodbye, Shepard.
With my memory, by the time I walk out this door, I won't even remember what we talked about. Alright. Chakwas never says anything else again. There's no reason to talk to her. Maybe towards the end she does say something, but that's a long time from now. Hey, Afro Man. Not that afros are bad, per se, but...
Anything you need, Commander?
I always thought his hair looked kind of dumb. Tactical appraisal.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni. Seems like a sweet girl. Easy on the eyes. I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
Do you?
Any intentions there, Lieutenant?
No, Commander. Just art appreciation.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element zero in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Time to get physical. Well, time to talk.
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bowl every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich, but she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same, but things never felt together. Training, you know.
Alright.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. There everything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Alright then. Hang on a second, folks. Alright. Let's go downstairs and talk to people. And sell stuff. And maybe buy stuff. Oh. Debating if I should just do Pharaoh, so go back to the Citadel and get more side missions to do. I hesitate doing Pharaohs at such a low level.
Looking for supplies?
Yeah.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Anytime now. No, really, show me your supplies. Thank you. Alright, you want to sell junk. Anti-personnel, I don't need number ones. Don't need one. Don't need that. Definitely don't need that. Don't need that. Let's keep those. I think I only need one of those. At least. I definitely don't need hardened weave. When it comes to armor upgrades, I keep it simple. Everyone gets life, medical, whatever, that regenerates health. That's it. Heat sink, let's keep that. Let's keep high caliber barrel. Let's keep high explosive. Yes, I want that. I don't want those. No. No shield battery. No shield regenerator. No. No. Let's compare these. Wow. Yeah, I'll get with that one. Unless there's a better one. There's a little more accuracy, but no point. Alright, yeah, I'll keep the edge, even if it does lose a little bit of accuracy on it. Assault rifle doesn't really matter. I can't even aim with assault rifles. Shotguns don't really matter. However, yeah. Oh, I have anti-personnel round 3, so I don't need anti-personnel rounds 2. Do I? Let's see. Armor piercing rounds 3, chemical rounds. And usually I'm very simplistic on the rounds I use too. I give everyone either armor piercing rounds if we're fighting Geth, and shredder rounds and whatever, anti-personnel rounds if we're fighting humans. Leave it at that. I don't use hammerhead, I don't use, phasic rounds or anything of that junk. I just keep it simple. Why? Because I don't like changing them out so much. Huh. Yeah, maybe I'll keep that. Alright. Let's see what you're buying. Or selling. Whatever. Hey, if only I had $230,000. No, I need that pistol. $142,000. I'll get there soon. Oh. Let's take a look at that baby. Oh, hells yeah. Alright. Looks like I'll be buying me one of them. And yeah. Well, nah, I already have a. What about that? Yeah, maybe I should get that. It has better accuracy. Not a whole lot better accuracy though. You know what? Let's buy the armor first, and then we'll talk about what else I want to get. Alright. Accept.